2, 1.
Good morning. Today I will be talking to you all about decreasing behavior problems through character education. This is a project-based assignment that I did alongside my colleague, Elizabeth Colley. So to begin with the problem, in recent years, many students have been entering elementary school without the basic character skills that are expected in society. Reports of students' lack of discipline, integrity, and motivation were commonly seen in the classroom between the teachers and their students. Students must learn how their actions reflect their character and how every decision they make demonstrates who they are as a person to others. So the purpose of this study, it was to discover the impact that character education lessons can have on students' behavior in the classroom. The other purpose of this study was for us to determine if good character can change the student's self-reported self-esteem and confidence. So to begin, we defined some key terms that we thought were necessary. The first term that we defined was behavioral intervention, which is a plan designed for a specific child to try to help that child learn to change his or her behavior. The next term we have is behavioral issues, breaking a classroom or school rule. In the case of Researchers A School, which is the elementary school that we used for our project, the rules that were frequently being broken were talking out of turn, using electronic devices during class time, not being on task while instruction was taking place, as well as being disruptive in the line. The next term we defined was character. Character is defined as the values of respect, compassion, responsibility, honesty, integrity, and fairness. The next term we looked into further was character education, which is a comprehensive character education addresses many tough issues in education while developing a positive school climate. It can be effective in any school setting, as our National Schools of Character demonstrate. Educators from diverse array of schools have transformed their school cultures, reduced discipline referrals, increased academic achievement for all learners, developed global citizens, and improved job satisfaction and retention among teachers. And lastly, we looked at self-esteem. Self-esteem is how we value ourselves. It is how we perceive our value as individuals to the world and how we value ourselves and what we think about ourselves. So there were two questions in particular that we wanted to delve deeper into. The first question we looked at was, what effect will twice weekly character education lessons have on the number of instances of fifth graders' behavioral problems? And the second question we looked at was, what effect will twice weekly character education lessons have on these same students' self-esteem and self-confidence? And this is a quote that I found that I think speaks directly to the project that my partner and I were working toward. And it simply states that character, not circumstance, is what makes the person. And this is from Booker T. Washington. So we also looked at a review of literature which helped strengthen our project and our research. So it said that character education is not a recent phenomenon. Sometimes we may think that this is a recent occurrence, but this has been going on for a while. Lacona notes that society since the time of Plato have made moral education an aim of school. Starting at the turn of the 20th century, teaching character was a crucial aspect of a teacher's education. Those programs taught educators how to bring about the development of virtues. However, the emphasis on character education was not as emphasized as the century continued. In the 1960s, the division between faith and the values that come from religion and beliefs of public school students were no longer aligned. In addition, technology and electronics also play a huge role in the lack of character education in our modern American culture. As children watch aggressive actions against other humans, be it TV, video games, violent or sexual nature, they are being predisposed to emulating that behavior in the classroom. This media socializes children into finding aggressive and antisocial behavior acceptable and something to copy in their own lives. Boys find heroes in tough men, while girls tend to find that in promiscuous women as they see these people succeeding in getting the attention in the media that they watch. It's unfortunate, but very true. In addition, one of our literature explained that character education is very deliberate, very organized, and it centers around self-respect, accountability, sincerity, for being a genuine, true person. The rudiments of hidden curriculum in schools are values, principles, and attitudes which are essential parts of a school function, and the quality of interpersonal communication. Additionally, we looked at how two authors explained that a safe, healthy learning environment endorses school and student success, and a select amount of schools generally deliver a more admirable community. A healthy school environment is productive, fostering a healthy, encouraging, pleasant, safe climate. However, different practices and strategies within schools can either increase or decrease the probability of behaviors occurring. So there are some methods that we looked into while continuing our research. The setting. The researcher A's school was a private elementary school located in Palo Alto, California. This is the school where we conducted the research. The houses surrounding the school are worth about $800,000 to $2 million, and the population is highly educated, and the majority are Caucasian. The students who attend Seton are from the surrounding areas of East Menlo Park and East Palo Alto, which is about a 5 to 10 mile drive. Many East Palo Alto or EPA residents are recent immigrants without citizenship, and therefore their occupation choices are further restricted. Many EPA residents work in fast food, gardening, construction, or as maids and nannies, and are paid inconsistently. While the average salary is reported about $50,000, only 16.3% of the residents are actually college graduates. The participants of the study. The school serves just over 250 students in grades preschool all the way to 8th grade. The student population at the school where the research was conducted is culted from East Palo Alto and its surrounding areas as word of mouth. Of the approximately students enrolled, 14% are receiving resources assistance, 20% receive free counseling support, and 95% receive either free or reduced lunch. The ethnic breakdown of the students at the school where the research was conducted is 90% are Hispanic or Latino, 5% are Pacific Islanders, 3% of the population are Caucasian, and just 2% are African American. The roles of the researchers. Researcher A is the 5th grade classroom. She's the homeroom teacher. And the researcher distributed pre-surveys to the students at the start of the intervention. The surveys were collected and given to a third party to tabulate. This was done to increase the validity of the result, hoping that the students wouldn't try to just impress the teachers with their answers. So if they were under the impression that the teacher would not be looking at their surveys herself and someone else would be looking at them, they would be more honest. At the end of the intervention, the researcher distributed the closing survey or the post-survey to show if the research was effective or not. In addition to the pre and post-survey, the researcher A also allowed the students to journal each day after the education lesson. Researcher B, which was handled by me, communicated with researcher A about the character education lessons which she performed twice weekly. Researcher B looked at the pre-surveys and post-surveys along with researcher A in order to analyze the lessons and conclude whether the character education lessons were successful or not. in addition to the journal entries the students wrote at the end of each lesson. Together, researcher A and researcher B were able to conclude that the character education lessons actually impacted the 5th grade students' behaviors for the better, which was a very positive experience. This is exactly what we were hoping to see. Not only did their behavior improve, but the number of outbursts and talking decreased, the number of inappropriate behavior in the classroom decreased as well. The ethical research practices. Before implementing any type of intervention in the research study, a plan for maintaining ethical research practices was developed. Since this study actually involves children, it was especially important to protect the rights of these individuals and to ensure the study remains professional, credible, and valid. Additionally, it was necessary to consider who would benefit from the study. We needed to also look at what information needed to be disclosed and how much information should be disclosed to participants, how researchers could ensure that participants would not be harmed during the process, and what methods could be used to ensure confidentiality of all participants. I would like to thank you all very much for your attention, and I hope that you guys learned a lot from this presentation. Thank you.